Hi, it's Julie from Ostada, making a little film about our monthly problems. So I was inspired to film this actually for my sister. So my sister suffers from really terrible endometriosis. She's had it all of her life and has suffered numerous miscarriages, has been hospitalised by it, takes really heavy duty medication from the doctor, and every month is crippled with pain. I myself suffer horrendous periods as well, really awful. Have fibroids on my ovaries, and it makes it just very, very uncomfortable and extremely painful. I also take medication from the doctor too, and to be honest, not a lot helps. What does help, however, what helps both of us, and this little routine that I'm going to take you through is something I crafted specifically for my sister, is a little bit of really gentle Pilates, and it's nothing crazy. It's not focused on engaging your abdominals or anything like that. It's actually more restorative. It's actually about finding space in the body, about finding length in the torso, and about opening out. So we both experience the same similar types of symptoms, which is interesting. We don't get low back pain, but we get a really heavy dragging feeling in our real lower abdomen all the way down to the pubic bone. We feel like really tense and tight, particularly in our inner thighs. So a couple of days beforehand we can feel, you know, almost like this pull of our inner thighs, and it's really not, it's not nice at all, and underneath drags. It's not great. It's if anybody else suffers, you know, pelvic pain when they're about to have their periods, you'll completely understand it. Hopefully this will help you. This will help you too. So this is my sister's go-to Pilates little workout when she's got really bad period cramps, and I'm sharing it today because I hope it helps somebody out there too. And it's just another example of how amazing Pilates is as a method. It can really benefit you in so many different ways. We tend to always think of it as the strength side, as the posture side, but it is so much more than that. So I actually use a couple of props for this, but you can do the whole thing without props. So I use a little ball and I use a block as well, because it just assists me. Like I say, this little session is all about creating space and openness in the body, and you'll see it's really short, and a lot of the moves are kind of what I call the little bit primal, and that you feel quite grounded, and it's all about opening in it's a very similar set of exercises that I would use in prenatal Pilates actually as well. Like I say, you can do it without all the equipment, but we're going to start by sitting on the block. So you're going to bring this underneath you. If you don't have a block and you want to feel a little bit more open in the hips, you can use a book. Like if you've got a thick book in the house or something like that, you can find a little book and pop yourself up on that. So this just allows me to open my hips, and I feel, like I say, I get really tight around my pelvis, around my lower abdomen, all the way down to my pubic bone. And sometimes, to be completely honest, underneath as well. It's not nice. But this just allows me to open the hips. Gravity is kind of my friend here because it's helping create that open space here by allowing me to rest my legs down. So like I say, it's kind of restorative, and allows me just to kind of grind my sit bones down to lengthen up through my spine. So straight away I'm creating that nice length, that nice open space in my body that I just like absolutely crave. The other good thing about going through a little movement practice, if you are really cramping and sore, is that your body is obviously telling you that it's in pain, and by moving you're sending a message back to your body to say, yeah, I hear you, and I'm doing something about it. So it's another really useful way to control sort of symptoms of pain and to sort of relax your nervous system down a little bit. So lengthening up, palms face down on the knees, and then really press the sit bones down and really start to lengthen up. So you're kind of allowing, like I say, this openness in the body. And from there, just going to start to breathe. So a lot of deep breathing, particularly focusing on the exhale, and on the exhale, allowing everything to really kind of move down and expand. Yeah. So really lengthening, really releasing, down. I use the arms to help me. It just gives me a little focus. So I breathe in and I move the arms up to the side of the head. I take a breath in at the top, and as I exhale, I bring the arms down. So again, it's about creating that space, that openness, that length. So the sit bones are nice and heavy, and I'm grounding, growing tall, grounding in the sit bones and growing tall through the crown of my head. And when the arms come up, I'm allowing my waist to lengthen, drawing the shoulders down my back, breathing in at the top. And as I exhale, I'm staying tall, but I'm trying to find that nice release. So like I say, it's not really about scooping. It's about trying to release all the way down to the pubic bone, opening, breathing wide into the ribs, breathing into the belly. So it's massaging, stretching, exhaling. And like I say, the arms just give you a little focus to work with. On this one, I'm going to take it into a little rotation. So one rib moves back, one rib moves forward. And then on the next exhale, arms down to tap. Keep lengthening up through the crown. Arms back up, back center. Good. Draw the shoulders down, move the other way. So again, this is less about kind of, there's a little gentle hollow going on. But this is like a little massage for the organs. A little nourish. So the arms down, arms up. A little twist. Keeping that length. Good. All the way up and back. And then last one here, a little rotation. Good. And all the way back. Good. Bringing the hands down from here. From here, I'm going to bring the ball into it. Again, you can do this without the ball, but again, it just allows me to kind of move gently, gives me a little bit of feedback. So I'm going to come back into that rotation, but we're going to use the opposite hand to press. So you'll see, you bring the ball up, and then I'll take the same move as before. Good. And then I'm going to bring the arms down. I'm going to press the heel of my hand into my knee, and I'm going to start to rotate and just slide the ball ever so gently. And I'm seeing here if I can just get a little bit more rotation in that upper mid back. Good. And this is allowing the pelvis open. Don't rotate to the point where the legs start to come into it and the knees lift, and you can feel releasing tension in the inner thighs here. Good. So keep exhaling to release and send the sit bones down. Little scoop of the belly, little one, just a little massage. Good. And then you're gently going to walk back out of that. Bring the hands, bring the ball with you. Hands back up, back to center. And then you're going to swap and take that the other way. So you're going to rotate first. Good. Bring the arms down. Press the heel of that hand. A little lift here. So keep lifting, sending head up, sit bone down. Keep the waist nice and long. And then press lightly and just take a little rotation. You move the ball a little inch or two, but again, don't let the legs, the thighs come into it. You're trying to keep open and relaxed, but just massage. A little wringing out. Good. And then you're going to come back, bring the hands up all the way back to center. You're going to bring the ball back down. From there, a little side bend. So hand down, lift the arm up, and you're going to lift up and over. Good. So again, keep open, keep the legs down, breathe into the ribs. Exhale. Smooth, gentle. Press yourself back up. Other side. So arm up, reach up and out. Good. Keep breathing, and always on the exhale, try and release down, release through your pelvic floor. Gentle, don't stretch, don't push too far. Good. And all the way back up there. From there, I'm going to come off the block now and come into a little spine stretch forward. I'll sit to the side so you can see. You can either take this with the soles of the feet together and take a little spine stretch forward, or you can bring the soles of the legs, flat in front of you. You can do this on a block if you want. So you would just pop the block underneath your bum and you tuck the legs forward. Stay nice and heavy, flex the toes towards you, chin to chest, and you're going to just round gently. So again, you're just compressing the organs a little bit. You're going to gently squeeze the thighs, and then you're just going to draw the spine back to the start position. I actually prefer to take this off the block. But again, if you feel tight round them, my sister would do this on the block. If you feel tight, it just gives you a little bit of openness. Good, pressing the legs together, chin to chest, just round a little bit. Remember, it's not as big as a spine stretch forward. So in a spine stretch forward, we'd be kind of reaching beyond the toes, but because it's just a little gentle compression, we're really just gently scooping, reaching a little bit forward, compressing those organs, and then we're just going to re-stack the spine. Good, heavy on the sit bones. Last one, chin to chest, and then you round. So drawing everything in and up, heavy down on the sit bones. Try and keep even on both sit bones, and then just re-stack the spine. Good. The other option is to keep the hands on the floor, and you can slide the hands chin to chest. You can slide the hands as you round, and then you can re-stack. You can also use the ball. So again, sometimes I think when if you are in pain, it can just give you an extra focus to work with. So again, to roll the ball, it starts here, chin to chest, and then you start to lift the abs in and back, and you're just rolling the ball away as you lift up and in with the abs, the ribs. Little small move, and then you roll ball back in, and then you restack the spine. It's as easy as that, but can all be done without any equipment. From there, I'm going to cross my legs, and I'm going to come into 4-point kneeling. So again, with this, we're looking to create some width. So allow the sit bones here to widen. So knees under hips, of course, wrists under the shoulders, extend the heart, chin in line with the breastbone, and then lift the abs. So there's a little connection through the abs just to protect the low back. Eye gaze is straight down, and then start to breathe into the ribs, and as you exhale, really allow those sit bones to widen. So when we think of the sit bones being wide, we tend to kind of work in quite a narrow way with the sit bones, but we're actually trying to think more width of the pelvis. So try and really widen on the exhale, relax and release those sit bones, a little gentle scoop. Good. Then from there, we're just going to go into a little cat. So you can press lightly into the shins to get a little bit more engagement with the abs. Keep pressing the floor away, soften the little elbows a little bit, yeah? And then just start to press into the shins, lift your abs up and in, a little round through the spine. Keep it nice and small, let the head go, and then lengthen everything back out. Keep connecting the ribs to the pelvis. Good. And then as you come back out again, think sit bones nice and wide. Last one here. Roll, lift, press the floor away. Allow the shoulder blades to part. Gently lift the abs and then lengthen back out. Sit bones nice and wide. Good. From there, coming into little pelvic rock. So as you exhale, you're going to come over the wrists, and then you're going to keep that spine neutral. Really think sit bones widen as you sink the bum back. Imagine you've got a pole attached to your back, and your spine is going to stay in touch or stay in contact with that pole the whole time. So sit bones get a chance, that whole pelvic region gets a chance to really expand and widen. Little lift through the abs as you come forward over the wrists. Keep sending the heart forward. Press the bum, yeah, and then forward. And this is my absolute favorite one. This just works for me when I have the most horrendous cramps. If I don't do anything else from this little routine, this is the one I would pick over all of them. Good. And then just gently come back to stop. From here, you can take a little moment to allow the abdominals, allow your belly just to kind of flop towards the floor. Just release it. And again, you get a little assist from gravity here. So let everything relax down and then just lift, just gently a little scoop. From here, a little tail swish. So keep sending the heart forward, keep active in the upper body. So again, the other thing to bear in mind, we're going to swish the tail from side to side. Shoulders stay square. Little scoop, little lift. Just send the tail side to side. This is lovely for the spine, low back. The other thing to bear in mind when you're thinking about sending the heart forward is when we are in a little bit of pain, our posture changes. So we'll tend to round more. So we're going to try and counter the effects of that as well with this little workout. thinking about keeping that chest nice and proud. Good. Little lift in the belly, but remember, everything is super gentle. Try and keep the elbows soft. Good. And if you want, you can start to look to the tail. So as the tail swishes, you can turn the head to look. You can come back to center. Keep pressing the floor away. Try and keep the space on the back filled. You can look the other way and back to center point here. Good. From here, we go into a little frog position. So this is more of an inner thigh stretch, and this can feel quite inaccessible to a lot of people. And if that is you, then I would completely skip it out. But if you want to give it a try, you're going to take the knees wider than hip distance, and you're going to take the ankles, the shins parallel, yeah, and flex the ankles. And then you're going to walk the hands a little bit forward. You're going to keep that sit bone, those sit bones nice and wide. Keep lifting the abs, and then you're going to start to press your bum back. Keep lifting the abs. You'll feel the stretch in the inner thighs. We're just going to hang out here for a little second, and then you're going to rock forward. Yeah. So this is a lovely one. Again, you're so open and wide here, and you're getting a nice stretch, inner thighs. If that's where you feel, like I say, my sister and I suffer really tight inner thigh muscles as part of our cramps. So this is a lovely one to just release here. And then forward. Keep sending that tailbone. Shining the heart forward as well. And then you might be able to get a little bit deeper each time in the stretch. Keep drawing your belly button. It's nice and gentle. Forward. Last one here. Flex. Make sure the ankles are flexed the whole time as well. And then forward. And then from there, last little one, back into 4-point kneeling. I use the block for this. It's thread the needle, but we're going to hang out in it for a little second. And again, because sometimes when we're in pain, we can kind of hold ourselves in not a very helpful posture, I use the block to open my shoulders out a little bit. And the reason I use the block is because it just gives me a little assist. Like I say, when I've got a period, I just feel like I want somebody to help me a little bit, and I don't want to kind of do it all myself. You don't have to use a block. It's completely up to you. Again, if you don't have a block, you can use a book. So I'm going to bring it out. I can fiddle around with it if it's not in the right place. So threading the needle, little restorative one, again from our nice 4-point kneeling. I'm going to slide my hand and I'm going to follow it, rotate, bend my elbow to bring my shoulder down, rest my head, yeah, and I'm gently pulling belly button in. I'm going to take my arm, find my block, and I'm just going to rest my arm so as my shoulder's nice and open here, so it's nicely flexed, it's nicely supported. Make sure your underneath arm hasn't crept up, shoulder hasn't crept up, and I'm going to hang out here. So again, nice wide open position, gently drawing the belly button into my spine, just really super gently. I'm going to take a few rounds of breath here. And then to come out of it, bring my hand back under my shoulder, and I'm just going to gently press up and de-rotate back in, and then I'm going to take that on the other side. So block, set myself up, take a little moment in between, good. Exhaling, sliding, bending, opposite arm, nice little crack there. See if I can bring myself down, rest the shoulder. So draw the shoulder, hopefully not flashing myself to the world here. Good, and then I'm using the block, try and keep the arm in line with the shoulder to open the hip, tailbone nice and high. Good, and this feels just lovely, the shoulder's nice and open, sit bones are wide, and this little rotation which just is really nourishing for the spine. Little massage, good. So big breathing, and on the exhale, widen the sit bones. Good. You can hang out there for as long as you want. Bring the hand back under the shoulder when you're ready to come out of it. Press the floor away, bring the hand pad down. Picked the wrong top for this one. Good, and then I'm just going to sink my bum back to my heels, widen my knees. I don't come into child's pose or a rest position because I don't like my forehead down. So I just kind of hanging out here, and I'm going to take a couple of breaths. Exhale, like I say, I'm nice and open here with the sit bones. And this is enough for me. And then just gently walk my hands back in, bringing my legs together. And that is more or less the little routine that I would go through. You can just pick a couple of them if you wanted to try them, or you can feel free to do the whole routine and see how you get on with it. If you do try it, let me know. If you do suffer from really bad cramping or periods, endometriosis, fibroids, any sort of pelvic pain, then drop me a little DM and let me know, because I'd love to know if you've used Pilates before to help you with any of it, and it would be great to connect. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I really do hope that this helps kind of soothe out any kind of period aches or pains that you might have. I'll see you again soon. Bye.